and I'm in Belize. I'm in a city called San Pedro. It's out on an island off the coast of the mainland, and we are here on a vacation, but we're also on a little bit of a reconnaissance trip. We try to go somewhere in the winter every year, and if you followed my channel any length of time, you know that in January and February we tend to go somewhere where it's warm, and this trip is no different from any of those. But it's always a, there goes one of them little biting gnats. I have so many insect bites. I should have put some more off on. Put some on this morning, but apparently I've washed it off because now here they come again. There he is. Dadgummit. That didn't take long. But yeah, when I come on these kind of trips, I always bring a minimalist loadout of camera gear. I don't never always bring like a large loadout anymore. Used to, I would take a big, what you call it, 500 millimeter phase Fresnel and a body to drive it so I could do wildlife. Let's see what we got here. Somebody said something. Hi, hey Albert, how you doing for stopping in? Thank you for checking in. Your first comment too. I also got me a cookie. I'm sure y'all want to watch me eat a cookie on live TV. But greetings from the Netherlands. Hey, how you doing, Cohen? Yeah, I'm streaming a little earlier today so the European community can get in on the stream. Got me some coffee. There's a coffee shop literally right there. Don't know what this building is that's right behind me. It might actually be a condominium. I'm not real sure. But back to the stream at large. But I tend to carry nowadays until I know for sure if I know for certain that I'm gonna like do wildlife photography in a foreign country, like if I'm going to Costa Rica to do wildlife or here, and I'm going specifically for that, then I'll pack a kit specifically surrounding that. It'll typically be that Think Tank Photo retrospective little backpack camera bag, because it'll hold the 500 millimeter and whichever Nikon body I'm driving it with at the time, and usually I can put the Z50 on it assembled. Hey, how you doing, Tim? Thank you for checking in as well. But if I'm just coming somewhere and we're just going to come down here and have a vacation, then I don't bring all of that. I bring a very small loadout now. It's literally, doesn't have to be Leica, of course, but this is my Leica CL. It's a crop sensor camera, so it's small. I mean, you can see it's just little. It's about the size of your hand, you can see. And currently, oh, it's on. We shut it off. I fired the shutter. There's no telling what that picture looks like. But currently, it's wearing the 35 millimeter TT Artisan 095. This lens is really, really versatile. That's the reason I picked it. I have the TT Artisan 35 millimeter f1.4, which is a tiny little thing. For a crop sensor camera, it doesn't have to be very big. But to go down to the 0.95 aperture gives you, oh look, I bet this is one of them biting flies. There we go, yeah. Committed murder on live stream. I think he got away, so maybe it's attempted murder. But being able to go down to 0.95 is, over a stop faster than f1.4. So at night, I typically will stop it down some. Sometimes I'll shoot wide open, mainly because the depth of field gets so shallow wide open. But in the daytime, I'm shooting at f8 or f11 because here it's really bright and sunny. And by shooting at f11, I get a lot more depth of field, so the photos make a lot more sense. You don't have everything blurred out. And, excuse me. And by not having it blurred out, you can get a better feel for the photos. And if you go look at my blog on my website, I've wrote a couple of blog posts and I've included a bunch of photos from this kit. Now, what I'll also bring usually is something wide angle. So since I got the 35, which is my general purpose walk around, I also bring in a tiny little bag. This is my camera bag when I travel like this. That's the whole camera bag. Now, I have a Ziploc bag with a few accessories in it, and I normally bring it anyway, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I actually forgot a piece of it, but you can get the idea of the piece I left out by accident. The headphones are part of that kit, but still, I bring this. This holds the CL in both lenses and a little bit of the other stuff, but we'll get back to that in just a second. But I'll bring this, another TT Artisan lens. And I have really grown to like their lenses. These are really nice lenses. You have to like manual lenses though. They're not autofocus, they're not auto aperture, they're not auto anything. But they take stunningly good photos if you'll do your part. And I really enjoy using them. They also normally come with a metal lens cap. I'm pretty sure the 095 did as well, but its lens cap is probably at home. I got a lens hood for the 35, and when I got the lens hood, I bought a pinch cap to go on it. But let's see here. This one is the 17 millimeter f1.4. I bought this one second-handed, and I think I gave like right at $100 for it. So it's not a very expensive lens either. Now, as you can see, get it to not look at me. There we go. But this lens is wonderful for like landscapes, something where you want to get a big sky, maybe there's some interesting clouds. This works great for that. It works great for close-up stuff if you can get like real close, because what's its minimum focus distance? 0.7 feet. Is that feet? Yeah. So what is that? Only something like 8 inches it'll focus down to, you know, very, very close to the front of the camera. But this lens takes crazy good photos. If I'm just wanting to do street for the sake of street, I'll a lot of times stick this on, set it to f11, and then the hyperfocal distance on f11, basically everything from like under 2 feet on is in acceptable focus. And it's just literally just raise it up and snap the picture. Even if you bump the focus a little, it'll still be in focus. So that's a real handy lens. If you're shooting down the street, then things start to get small in a hurry, because this is like a 28 millimeter field of view. So, you know, you got that to contend with. So that's why I bring it and the 35. That gives me a 50 and a 28, you know, depending on what I'm really looking for. Let's see, somebody said something. Woody Mallory's in the house, and so is Tell. Tell finally caught a stream. Let's see. Well, I see you're not in the eastern storm like me. No, sir. I am in San Pedro, Belize. Down off the coast of Guatemala is next door. Yeah. To the north is Mexico. I'm further south than Mexico. So, yeah. And the airport, we're on an island, so the airport's right in the middle. So you have to hear that everywhere is in the approach path. Depending if they're flying north to Mexico, got him that time. You've got these little biting flies. I don't know if you can see that, but it almost looks like a miniature deer fly. And they raise a whelp on me. One bit me right there on my ankle bone. I don't know, you can see that red spot. It's been like that for 2 days. Maybe allergic to them, I don't know. It's pretty aggressive. It's almost like a fire ant sting for me. It's hard to get over it. Greg Cassidy's in the game. Yes, sir. I am in the wonderful city of San Pedro, Belize. Currently, if you pull up San Pedro, Belize, it goes to the island of Amerigus or Amber. It's a word, and I can't say it really well. It sounds like Ambiguity Island or something like that, but San Pedro will take you to this place. And then once you get to San Pedro, if you zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole kind of southern half of the island, you'll see down at the southern end what looks like a development. You'll see like where they've cut canals for condominiums. I'm in that development, and it's called Mahogany Bay. And the Google satellite images are old. I checked it today just to see. There's a lot more done since those photos were taken, so it's a lot further along now. Like, they've got a bunch of the restaurants. The coffee shop is right there. Let's see. Let me show you. This building here with the door is the coffee shop, and behind it is a sushi place, and then behind it is the beach club, which is a pool club, which is a restaurant with a swimming pool in it. You really got to want to eat there too, because it is not cheap. but yeah, that's where we are. We're in a place called Mahogany Bay. We've rode way north on this island so far. We've rode almost all the way to Margaritaville Resort, which is way on the north end. But our backs couldn't take it anymore. The roads are not easy to drive on. Everybody drives golf carts here. If you go to my blog and you look up the Belize Part 2, then you'll see, if you scroll down, you would think that the people on this island invented the golf cart. There are so many golf carts here. They use them instead of cars, and they take up a lot less space. Kind of makes sense. The island's small, so, you know, you can cover the whole length of the island in about an hour on a golf cart, and they're all gasoline-powered carts. So you got all these guys running around in these little knobby tire treaded golf carts. We have one. It's a neat place. But yeah, I updated the blog post today and posted it. Ooh. Looks great down there. It looks like London in Signal. Let's see here. Virginia's getting ready for 70-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, the guys at the machine shop had a power failure last night from the storms as they passed over Georgia, and blew a bunch of tree limbs over and stuff in the road. My shop foreman texted Teresa this morning and told her that everybody'd probably be late today because trying to get to work was going to be difficult. So she's been doing office admin duties every morning and getting me to help her do some stuff. We kind of work remote when we do these sorts of things just to keep things moving. But yeah, it seems like well, the reason I'm streaming right now and not on my way to Atlanta, Georgia on a Delta flight is because Delta canceled the flights because of those storms. So we get to stay another day. Oh, twist my arm. Yeah. No coat, no jacket. It's kind of hot actually right now. Me to be drinking coffee. That's pretty good. I think she actually made me an Americano and not just made black coffee. But let's see. There's some more constant. Oh, Greg says something here. It says, yes, I've had interest in visiting there. How's the sargassum seaweed on the beaches? Oh, you do know about it. Okay. I got a photo. I don't know how to embed photos in the stream when you just gonna get a Z8 and a Tamron 35 to 150. Hey, Ray. Don't know. I don't know. Just for a little more, I can get the Z9. I mean, the differential ain't really that great now. Back when I bought my D810, to go up to the D4, I think was the big boy camera at that time, it was still like $3,000. Between the Z8 and the Z9, there's only like $1,000, $1,500. It's kind of hard for me to pull the trigger on that Z8 when I can go ahead and just get that Z9. I kind of like your idea and get the good one right out of the chute. Of course, the Z8 is also a good one, but I just like the full grip. I had a battery grip on my Z8 or my D810 the whole time I had it. So I think I would rather go that route. I may do that before it's over with. Let's see. The hat's here. Hey, look at that. I was more thinking of size for traveling. Oh, yeah. The Z50 still does that well. Let's see here. To get back to Greg's question about the seaweed on the beaches, there's a photo, and if I can remember, I'll upload it to the channel in the, you know, where I put the, make the post. If you go to my channel and pull up the page for my channel, there's a set of buttons across the top, and the one over on the far left is called Community. If you click on it, you'll see all my posts. It's kind of like your Facebook wall, for lack of a better term. And I've been posting some stuff there as we go along. But yeah, if you, if I can remember, I'll put that photo on there. We stopped at a place to check on massages and things. Me and Teresa wanted to get a couples massage. And while we were there was two guys down at the beach with wheelbarrows and pitchforks, and they were pitchforking up what looked like a pile of hay, and it was seaweed. And then they had a looked like a windrow, like when you're baling hay. Once you cut the hay and it dries, then you rake it into what they call windrows, which are rows about 2-3 feet tall and 2-3 feet wide. And then the baling machine just drives along that row and pulls that row up into it and bales it into a bale. Well, it looked like a windrow right down the beach, right where the water's edge was. And it was tall. It was probably at least a foot tall. It was a lot. And you see it in the water. It's like the grass doesn't float on the top. It floats vertically. It's weird. I'd never seen that before. Planted it. It's weird. When we flew over from Belize City, you could see it down in the ocean. And I was wondering what those lines in the ocean were, because the waves were going the other way. So it wasn't pushed up by wave action, but it looked like lines drawn in the water. It was strange. Let's see here. Woody says Nikon USA has a reverb sale on the Z8. $800 off for 4 days. Wow. George has made it in. Yes, sir. I'm streaming at a reasonable hour. Let's hear. Sounds like a cool shot for a time lapse. It probably would be, yeah. There's a real bad problem on all the Gulf beaches for the number of years now. Interesting. But yeah, it looks like you mowed the regular grass and just threw the clippings in the water. That's what it looks like. It's just real long, looks like fescue grass blades, or Johnson grass, as Daddy used to call it. The big grass that comes up in between. Yeah, Hat says, hay balers are amazing things unless they're making a cylindrical bale and the inexperienced operator points them in the wrong way onto the slope. That ends badly. Yeah, he ejects the bale of hay and it rolls down the hill and kills somebody. Them things hold some kind of crazy number of bales too. Square bales rolled up, it's like a huge quantity of square bales. And a square bale is a lot of hay. It's just man portable. But yeah, that's here. They can clear an 8-foot tall fence if they get a good bounce on. Whoa. If they don't clear the fence, they just take it out. Them things probably weigh a ton, maybe more. A square bale will weigh almost 100 pounds if it's still green. They weigh at least 30 or 40 pounds dry. I did that crap one time in the summer. No more. Okay. My camera bag for these kind of adventures, I'm going to jump back on subject for a few minutes now, is a Think Tank photo. It's called a Lens Changer 50 version 2. Now, I don't know what the 50 means, but I think this is a medium dump pouch. You put it on your belt and you can stick a lens in it. Not sure what the nomenclature is, but true to form, since it's Think Tank photo, the bottom unzips to expose a rain cover for it. Yes, even the dump pouches have rain covers from Think Tank photo. I thought that's a pretty nice touch. Of course, it has a drawstring closure, and it's elastic shock cord. Oh, come on, get that. And then in the bag, it's got this flap on the top, and you're supposed to like lay it on top of the lens to keep dirt off of it, but it folds down into the back, as you can see there. See it? I keep it just pushed out of the way. But then I have, if I want to like do video clips at night, I have this Loom Cube panel. It's called the Panel Mini, and if I hold this button down, it should be charged. Yeah, so there. It's at 50% output currently. And there's 100. But you can see I can actually add light. And in low light, when you don't have so much ambient, you don't need this, but sometimes you do, so I bring it. The GoPro really benefits from this. That's why I brought it. But yeah, I'll throw this in the bag. I like this, the charger. Okay, we'll get to this in a second. This is a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. That's the only charging cable I brought. I probably should have brought a spare one, but I didn't. Just brought this one because this cube is USB-C charged. The camera, I got this Ziploc bag for incidentals, stuff that I don't like walk around with. The battery charger for the CL's batteries. This is an aftermarket dual battery charger. I got it and 2 batteries for like 25 bucks. The CL is the only Leica I'm aware of that batteries cost reasonable money. You can buy Panasonic batteries to fit it and they'll work perfectly, because we all know the inside heart of that thing is Panasonic. But you can get these aftermarket chargers and it runs on USB-C. So now I can charge the camera batteries as well as the Loom Cube panel. Of course, I got a wall cube. It's one of them cheap ones, 2.1 amp wall cube. And then I bring my video rig. Okay, that's the whole video rig. I didn't even bring a spare memory card for it. I'm just throwing the dice that this one doesn't die, because I've had real good luck out of these micro USB. But it also is USB-C charged. So I didn't bring, but the battery that's in it is the only battery I brought, because I rarely ever use it enough on these trips to run it down in a day. So I can get back to the room that evening, plug it in, charge it up, and I've got a 128 gigabyte card in it. So I have plenty of storage. I don't have to worry about it running out of memory. So I can capture B-roll or clips of me talking or whatever I want to do. And this has got plenty of capacity. Then of course I have the little telescoping grippy tripod thing. This is a GoPro product. I think it's aftermarket. You know, it's like accessories you buy separately. But it couples up to the mount for the Osmo Action just fine. So I've been using this. I've got a couple of Velcro straps on here so I can tie it to things like tree branches or a fence post or something, because they're like the little Velcro stickies, and I just got them wound up on the shank so that I can tie it to things. Because it doesn't have any way of like doing anything other than standing it up on a flat surface. These legs, you can move them and like get it on an unflat surface somewhat, but it's a little bit limiting. It doesn't give you as much capacity as you get with some of the better or aftermarket products. Like Aaron's got some stuff for his Osmo Action. He's got like a kit of things, and it's made by a third-party company, and it's real nice, like way better quality than GoPros. But yeah, that's the whole kit. Now, far as the camera goes, I do have 2 spare batteries. There's some pockets on the front. I got 2 spare. That's one of the batteries that came with it. What's the brand that says it on it? Pickle Power. Yeah, that's what it says, Pickle Power. But it's a 7.4 volt, 1440 milliamp hour battery. Even if it comes in a little short, I haven't had any trouble with them running down real fast. I got 2 Leica batteries, because I've got some Leica batteries for it too. So I got 2 spares plus the one in it, because I do have a propensity of going through batteries. And then I got a couple of spare memory cards for it in case I filled that one up, and I don't remember how big that one is. These 2 are 64 gigabytes a piece. So I got some spare memory cards. I keep looking around because I'm thinking I'm hearing hummingbirds. There's this plant. They've planted these little shrubs all around. It's got these flowers on them, and hummingbirds love those things. And the hummingbirds around here have very little man fear. They'll just come right to it. So curious to see. But yeah, that's it. I got, like I said, when I got this lens, TT Artisan gave me this lens as a review sample. There we go. And it doesn't, from the factory, come with a lens hood. It just comes with a metal screw-on lens cap. So I like the lens, so I wanted to protect it as best I could. So I got on Amazon and I just ordered this lens hood, and it's got this cutaway thing. I think mainly for decoration. It might be for rangefinder use. I think that's what the intention of the cuts are for, is so the rangefinder can see through the lens hood if it's in the corner. But for me, it just looks cool. But yeah, I got the lens hood, and then I think the lens hood came with the pinch cap. It's a knock-on pinch style cap. It's a knockoff, but it works. It's a 50 to 62 millimeter lens cap. But that lets me, cap the lens and keep the dirt off of it. And I've got this standard rope strap, and what I do to shorten it is I just tie this figure 8 knot in it. And then if I want it full length, I take the knot out and it hangs about my belt. I can go crossbody with it and keep it around my belt line. If I put this on it, then it hangs right mid-chest. And that's a nice position if you're street photography, because you don't have to move it very far to take a photo. I am in a central area where there's lots of people, so people are going to pass through frame from time to time. The main check-in station, whatever they call that, is right there. It's a building right across the way, so people have to go there, check in, get their condo key, because it's the little resort is basically a bunch of these little condominiums that are like, they replicate them, like it's cookie cutters. You got a couple of buildings like one print, then they'll have a couple of buildings like another print, then they'll have a little bundle of buildings that are real small. Like ours is nothing more than a glorified motel room. It's literally a bedroom with a bathroom, just like a hotel room, but it's just a little fancier. And they got bigger ones that have multi-bedrooms for families and things like that. But since it was just 2 of us, we didn't need much, so we got a little one. Get squared away here. But yeah, it's a neat place. But that's all I bring on trips now. The other Ziploc bag that was supposed to be in that larger one has my travel gear in it, which is my headphones. I have a set of the iPhone headphones. And the reason I don't bring my AirPods is they're too easy to lose. They really are. They're too small, and they're too easy to fall out of your ears, and so I don't want to lose one of them because they were very expensive. So I leave them at home. I use them when I'm in my truck or I'm in the house. And when I travel, I carry these wired ones. But yeah, that's a something that I carry with me when I travel, but I do that mainly for the airplane. So as I got these to plug into the phone, but I got another set that has the 3.5 millimeter that doesn't have a mic for the airplane itself, because the headphones they give you to watch movies on the plane they're terrible. So I bring my own high quality ones just for that. And so that's the way that works out. And I keep them in a Ziploc bag all their own, and my iPhone charging cable, I keep it in there as well. Let's see. That's a really tidy little bag. Yeah. It's snowing hard in Chicago now, so I'm envious. You get the good snow photos, George. But yeah, that's the whole camera bag. Yeah, check this out. If I take out this is how small I like to keep my kit. If I put the sling will go in first. Whoops, pull the cap off. But as you'll notice, the camera went into the bag with the lens on it. And I can stick that behind it. And then I can actually get the other lens in there with it. I normally put the smaller lens on the camera body for travel, and then put the bigger one in the bag because of the way it all fits in the bag. And then I can cinch it down. That's the camera and lens, and the batteries and the memory cards in that bundle. And like I said, if I switch the lens over to the other one, somehow the volume of the bag is larger. It's just the way everything fits, and I can actually get the Loom panel, Loom Cube panel in there as well. But I can stick it in this big Ziploc bag with the other stuff. It works out either way. It does make for a compact travel kit. Woody says, I'll trade the power bank I won from you a while back for that light. Sounds like a good trade. No. The power bank was nice. It was not as powerful as they said, but it was still a good power bank. But no, you can use the power bank. I still have a power bank anyway. I just don't need to bring it with me. That's pretty good coffee. Let's see here. So what's everybody been doing? You got any questions about my kit? I don't know of anything else to tell you about the kit proper, other than, you know, how it all fits together. It's kind of funny when you see how I vlog. Since there's no hot shoe or cold shoe on this device, this Loom panel works so well, you can literally just pinch it in your hand and just hold it. And just hold it like that while you talk to the camera. Get the angle right and just hold the panel with your fingers and point it at you. This thing is really convenient. And it's not very big. It don't weigh anything. I always run the diffuser on it. I don't never run it without it. But yeah, this is a really good little product from Loom Cube. I had the original Loom Cube. I still have it, actually. It got to where it didn't want to hold charge eventually. The little battery in it finally got weak. But I used it for a long time to very good effect, actually. A lot of my videos from back when I was running the GoPro Hero 7, I had that little Loom Cube. I made a mount that went on my GoPro rig that actually mounted that Loom Cube over to the side. Let's see what we got here. Hat, mostly just working here. I did get out to the sea to do some photography though at the weekend though, which is nice. Cool. How much difference does the diffuser make? Well, without it, I'll show you. Let's see. The diffuser, the panel is actually a bunch of LEDs on a circuit board. I don't know, let me see if I can back the power down and make it where you can see the actual individual LEDs. Yeah, there you go. You can see they've got white ones and then orange ones, and if I change the color temperature, I don't remember how to do that. There we go. There's where it gets warmer, and there's where it gets cooler. You see the orange ones turn off, and that's how they get the cooler ones. Let's see, they turn blue. No, they only goes to 5600. As you get warmer down to 3200, it brings the orange ones up as well. Let me see. Let me go up to. Let's see. Yeah, it just turns off at one set of. There we go. I always run at about 5,000 Kelvin. That's 5,000, 5,500 is about sunlight, so, but there we go. It says I have 1.3 hours at 100% output, and it says at 10% output it has 7 hours of runtime. It's got a tiny little display here with a whole bunch of information on it. Now normally you leave it on 50%. There we go. But you can see, like in your face, you'll see the individual LEDs in your eyes. It looks a little odd, so I always run the diffuser to make it one light. It works really well for that. Oh. But once I get the diffuser on it, which is made of silicone rubber, it just pops on. Then screw this little cold shoe mount on. It just screws into the bottom and you just tighten it down against the silicone rubber. Then there it is. It's done. But yeah, this thing works shockingly well. Let's see what we got here. Roy's here. Oh, wow. Roy's in Australia. We're worldwide. The Europeans. I think I got somebody from England in here. Tell was in here earlier. And then now we got Australia. Yeah, the east coast of the U.S. right now is in some trouble. It's got some storm issues it's dealing with. Yeah, yep, waves UK based in the cold and damp. The hat. Woo. Yeah, you just got. How cold is it there? I got a screenshot the other day. The temperature here is so stable it's ridiculous. I think it was 2 nights ago. It was 81 in the daytime and 80 at night. It varied 1 degree from day to night. And you would think that at night it would get cool, but it didn't. It was still warm, even driving around at night with no t-shirt. Housekeeping's done. See, they're coming through. They just finished. That's the main house that has the like desk where you sign in, and there's a restaurant and a bar, and the pool is like right in that corner. They have all sorts of stuff in there. Yeah. Yeah, housekeeping just finished up for the day. Came right through here. Let's see what we got. Roger Almond. Hey, how you doing, Trey? Yeah, a bit of wind. Time for a new disc on. Uh-oh. That ain't good. That means my antenna may be in trouble when I get home. I didn't think about that. Ah, crud. Now you got me sweating. Still in here. Let's see. Currently -2 Celsius and dropping in England. Woo! So 0 is 32, so it's in the 20s there. Oh boy, yeah, that's terrible. I love live streams. Yeah, you don't know what you're going to see, especially on one of my streams. But as far as like 25 miles an hour at my house last night and found a trampoline in the yard. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Whew. It's 25 degrees C here this morning. In Australia, it was 25 Celsius. What is that about? That's like 77 or 80, isn't it? Woo. So, it's in the low 70s, yeah. Crazy. There's a lot of people all over the world in here today. That's pretty impressive. If y'all haven't done it yet, hit a thumbs up on this stream because I would like to see a lot of them. I don't know if it really does much for the algorithm or not, but it seems like a good idea. I'm up to 5 right now. I'd like to see 10 before I close it down. See at least double-digit thumbs. I'd take that any day over this horrible cold. Hey, I'm up to 7. We might actually make it. Right, I can explain this to you. I set this up deliberately. Let me just juice it up here so I can explain it. I run it mostly nowadays in auto, but I don't run it completely auto. Let's see. Yeah, you can't tell much right here, but maybe you can see it. Let me see if I can get the light right where it get the glare off. Let's see if I hide my face, it should focus on it. That's funny. It won't focus. On the Osmo Action, It has a manual auto setting area, and if you run it in auto settings, which I have right here, that's in auto, that slider will move over to manual. When it does, it opens up a lot more options right here. Well, I leave it in auto, and I overexpose everything by 2/3 of a stop. Right there it says EV 0.7, positive 0.7. And I do that to bring up the shadows. And then I also run it in what it says is, says D-Cine-like, which is the Osmo Action version of RAW, camera RAW or RAW video. And I run it in 1080 30 frame. And I do that because all of my video has always been 1080p on the channel. Everything that I shoot is 1080p, so I just film in 1080. And that way I don't have large files to deal with when I edit. They're more reasonable. I don't know what memory card I have in it, but it probably is a 128 gigabyte because it shows I have 450 minutes of available record time in the next clip. And I have recorded the whole trip to this card, and there's a ton of footage on it. So there'll be a video as well as the live stream, but the video is probably going to discuss more about how I shoot and what I pick to photograph more than the equipment. I also leave the auto power off function enabled because then I don't run my batteries down when I forget to shut the camera off. That's how I think I get by with one battery a day. Also, it has this quick capture function. If you just hit the record button, if I just hit it, you'll see it. That's the record button I just hit. It boots the camera and then automatically starts recording. You see it right there with the tally light going. You can see it on the front too, with the tally light, which is kind of nice to have because then you know the camera's actually rolling. And then when you hit it again, it'll actually ask you up here, and it'll say if you want to keep using the camera, touch the screen, it'll stay on. If you don't, it shuts it off. I use that a lot for capturing B-roll and things. That's a real handy function for me. This has become one of my favorite video devices. It really works well for just general videography. If I want like very specific kind of camera shots, I'll set up the CL and shoot with it. I'll set it on something and get a nice stable position because I don't have stabilization. Then just let it record and set the distance, do a test shot, mark my spot in the dirt with my foot, go up and check the focus. The focus looks good, then I'll shoot the clip like that. I've done a lot of my closings that way with the CL and the SL2. The SL2 a lot of times will do autofocus unless I've got a vintage lens on it. But that allows me a second video camera if I really need one to capture a clip for some reason, a lot of dialogue shot or something like that. But the stabilization in the Osmo Action is uncanny. It works so well that I just like using it. It works way better than the GoPro I had did. I really don't know how much better it can get to go to that Osmo Action, where was it? Osmo Pocket 3 that everybody bought. One of them little white gnats tried to land in my eye just then. I got some bug spray. I just didn't add any. I put on some this morning and I just didn't think to put some more on. I'll hit it here in a minute before we go out. We're gonna go out for dinner in a little bit, so let's see what we got here. I've missed some comments. Good night there. Gotta go. Got a lot to do before bed. Great to catch you live. Thank you, Tell. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate that. Let's see. If you have Roy Bixby on your stream, he is the king of visiting live streams. Okay. -3 here in southern England, sprinkling of snow already. Wow. Scott Patterson made it too. Anthony Blake's here. Wow, man, everybody's showing up tonight. Recently got the Pentax Monochrome camera, and I am in awe of its quality. Oh, wow. It is so impressive that I find it difficult to sit it down. Dude, that's crazy. So, I don't know that I can add someone to the stream from mobile. It's very limited in its functionality. I know it'll let me do it on the computer because I've seen that option show up before, but I don't know how to do it from a mobile device. Or I would invite Roy to make a guest cameo appearance. Ah. But yeah, if you shoot your photos. Oh, where are y'all from?
Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From Georgia in the USA.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. But the French part of Canada.
Okay, like Quebec.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
awesome. Let them get their photo, guys. Let's see. There we go. Are those little biting bugs not biting you too? Yes.
They are really tiny.
Yes.
Yeah. Then, yeah.
Little white bugs.
Yeah.
Yes. They're crazy. Let's see. All right. Ciao. There's some good light right here, and they wanted to get a photo right quick. Direct sun, but it's kind of neat, kind of the side lighting and all. But yeah, the Osmo Action works really good for video, and the CL is a great stills camera. Even though it don't have stave in it, I really wished it did. Kind of makes me sad that they discontinued that camera, but what that does is it gives me an opportunity now when this one gets to the point where I want to get a new travel camera. I can get a new travel camera. There'll be a bunch of used CLs on the market for a long time. I can get another one of them, I guess. I kind of like the silver ones. They're pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having one of those at some point. But Roy says it doesn't snow in Australia. Monochrome sensors are genuine, and they make a big difference since the camera's high ISO performance is outstanding. The higher the ISO, the more it appears like film grain. Yeah. To jump on Albert's statement here, that's the exact same thing they say about the Leica monochrome cameras, is that since you move that Bayer filter off of the sensor, that now you gain like 3 or 4 stops of high ISO performance, because is it the blue layer that chokes back the light like 4 stops? I think it's the blue filter. I don't remember for sure, but like the green, the blue, and the red throttle light flow through to the sensor through that filter array different amounts. And I want to say the blue one is the worst offender. It kills the most light passage. And I'll move this cookie so the ants don't find it. But once you remove that filter from the sensor completely, now you get all that light straight to the sensor. They're talking about shooting at ISO 52,000 on those, like the Q2 monochrome and the M10 monochrome, and I think the M11's got a monochrome now. I don't remember for sure, but I don't follow the M's too much. I'm not super big on the M series lenses or cameras, mainly because I'm not a big what do you call it? Trying to think of the word. Rangefinder shooter. You know, I'm not super big into rangefinders, particularly. Like the CL looks like a rangefinder, but it's an EVF. You know, I'm not looking at the rangefinder trying to focus with a patch in the center and all that jazz. It's just a little EVF in it. But they have the monochrome sensors, and they work shockingly well in the dark. Like they can see almost in the dark. It's crazy how good they work. And the Panasonic's going to use the same technology because they're getting, they have a cooperative agreement with Leica. So they're probably sharing technology back and forth. It wouldn't surprise me if the electronics were built by Panasonic that's in the M10 and M11 cameras. Stands to reason. Roy says the only thing I hate more than rangefinders are TLRs, the twin lens reflex cameras. I've never shot with a TLR. I've handled a couple of them. They feel like they'd be a fun novelty, but it seems to me like, honestly, it would be kind of frustrating to use in execution, especially for a period of time. You would get to the point to where, that whole waist level shooting it's kind of limiting. You have to shoot waist level all the time because that's how you focus it. I don't think that they might make a vertical focus device where you can move it up higher, but I don't think they do. But, I don't know. I agree. Panasonic has made cameras for Leica in the past. They have made a bunch. I'm convinced that for ages that they made all of the Leica digitals, that all the electronics were made by Panasonic. So here you are. Oh yeah, them chairs sit way down there, by the way. Teresa just joined us. Oh, here. Yeah, here it comes. And there you are. Let's see. If,
I can't be talking. I'm doing a post.
oh, okay. Well, there's. I have Australia on here. I have England on here. I have a bunch of North America, all over the continent, from Chicago where it's snowing with George, to Virginia where they're getting ready for the storms. Trey checked in for a few minutes and talked about how the storms blew a trampoline into his yard last night, tore up one of his antennas.
Don't be bragging.
But yeah, that's I don't wandered off subject now, talking to Teresa. We're closing in on an hour, guys. If y'all have a comment or a question, drop them in the chat, and I'll answer them right now. If I don't see much going on in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here in a couple minutes because we're probably about to go eat supper here in a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah. But yeah, those monochromes are epic. He hasn't seen snow since then. There, let me catch up. George said hi, Teresa.
Hello.
Remember George Nagata?
Yes.
Yeah. Teresa said hello. Had a couple of girls from Canada come in here and they had to stop and do them a photo op. She had to sit right there in the sun while her friend took her picture with her phone. Yeah. I didn't think to turn the camera around and put them on camera for a minute. I just talked to them, but yeah. You could see they were speaking in French, that they were French Canadian. Sadly, I need to vanish. I'm still working at almost 11 p.m. again. I thought I'd fix the bug I've been chasing down all day, but alas, nope, still not working. What time is it down there? Well, good to see you, Hat. Thank you for stopping in. I might not have a video this Saturday, mainly because of the delays in getting home to edit said video, because all of my editing software and equipment's at home. But we got this stream to go through. So, what time is it here? The current time is Central Standard Time in the U.S. is the time in Belize. So, absolutely 15 till 5 here. Or 16:45 if you was to say it in UTC time. Roy says, I would love a monochrome camera but can't justify it. The Nikon ZF isn't a real black and white camera. Yeah, it's just putting it in black and white mode. So it's kind of ironic that you have a black and white sensor, because from the way I understand it, all sensors start out as black and white. Then they put the Bayer array and then do a bunch of algorithmic math to turn it into a color. And then once they do that, you put a black and white mode, you just desaturate that color image. So yeah, you don't gain the ISO performance back. That's an unfortunate thing with that. You still have the same ISO performance. Let's see here. All right, George, thank you for stopping in. Hey, we got 12 likes. Awesome. We actually succeeded in our mission. The Pentax monochrome camera offers image stabilization and a touch screen in addition to its awesome high ISO performance. Is it full frame sensor? If it's full frame, then it's too big, because the SL2 does my full frame stuff. I'm greetings from Holland, Wouter de Groot. Wow. Thank you for stopping in on the stream, dude. It's a crop sensor camera. Good, good, good. What's the model number? Is it it's like S5 or S7 or something like that? Because if it's L mount, then that's even better, because then all of my current L mount stuff will just switch over. I got a bunch of F mount and Z mount stuff too, but I only currently own one Z mount camera at this time. It's the Z50. I got rid of all of my other Nikon cameras except that one. Of course, I still have that little D40, but I don't ever use it. I haven't charged the battery in it in ages. Uh-oh. It's crop sensor. Why don't you crop mono bodies? None. You're gonna have to retype your comment, Roy. It doesn't. Why don't you like crop mono bodies? Oh, I do. I want a crop sensor camera. That's the point. I have a full frame, and my current travel camera is a crop sensor camera. Yeah, I like crop sensor cameras a lot for the size and the compact nature and the lightweight. It's hard to beat them. If you're just walking around, especially if you're not worried about like high ISO performance. A lot of times they have small photo sites because they want to make them with high, like this is a 24 megapixel crop sensor. It would be fine with 16. It'd be perfectly usable at 16 megapixels, but no, they want it to have these tiny little photo sites, whatever, but it does fine for me. I love using the crop sensor camera. Yeah, I got no complaints about that. Worn out keyboard. Yeah. The Pentax K3 Mark III Monochrome. Nice. Man, these bugs are starting to get crazy. I'm about to have to pull the plug just because of the bugs. Woo. But yeah. There goes another one. Dang it. Y'all can't see them. They're too small. They're these little white flecks. And they got sharp teeth. How you doing? Good, and you? Pretty good. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We're at 1 hour basically, 58 minutes and 40 seconds on this stream. That's incredible. But yeah, Teresa's done made her appearance. That means she's getting ready to go eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, guys. I thank you for the stream, for your time. Thought I'd fixed it then, but no. Time to actually do some work. Good night, all. Take it steady. Good night, Hat. Y'all be careful. And Teresa's hungry. You should go. Yes. And we have a good little journey ahead of us to get there. I'm going to let Roy and Albert get done with their small conversation that's going on in the chat here before I shut it down. That'll let you guys finish your communication. I'm wearing pants today because I have some incredibly red knees because I forgot about that yesterday. It's like to get distracted. Oh, you two are having way too much fun. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining along. And until next time, this is David, the Georgia photographer. And I'm going to tell you to get your camera out, even if it's one of these things, go take some pictures with it, all right? We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Let me see if I can, if I can find the button that makes me finish my stream.